But I see you.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be bored. No, search for a second.
Well, there you see,
I had my college advisor, one of the good Arizona State. I have
Ladies and gentlemen, I have two speeches to give. One's very short. The first is a toast to this lady here and the two men with her. This is not the Casbah room. The Casbah room has been sabotaged, and the lighting, which was motion censored, was cut by some vandals.
Sorry.
And so we are not in the Casbah room. These guys kicked ass. I know two of them aren't in here, but we just say, they saved Christmas. They are Rudolph. Second speech. I didn't write this one. The author said, I sat and thought about this year's Christmas Eve game for weeks. I had a hard time finding inspiration. Inspiration is sometimes difficult. However, I finally sat down 5 days ago. That would be the 19th, I think, and put my metaphorical pen to paper. Which should mean there's nothing written, but luckily there's some stuff here. So here we are on this 88th Christmas Eve, and thus I set the stage. We have two young ones in the room who are dreaming of Santa and gifts, a boy and a girl. The stock market is collapsing before our very eyes. Due to a surge of nationalism, our protectionist president has signed sweeping tariffs and placed over 20,000 goods. There is no real news. If you think I'm referring to the year 2018, no. I'm referring to 88 years ago, 1930. The year of the great stock market collapse. Get ready, Stu.
Thank you so much for this.
President Hoover signing in the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act on April 18th that year, the day Sherelle died. The BBC actually reported there was no news. Of course, the young ones in the room were Marty and Moulton. Much has changed, but no matter what has, we are more or less the same. Or as Simon and Garfunkel once sang in the song The Boxer, now the years are rolling by me, they're rocking evenly, I'm older than I once was, and younger than I'll be, that's not unusual. That's Garfunkel. No, it isn't strange. After changes upon changes, we are more or less the same. After changes, we are more or less the same. I hope you know, he knew I would know the melody to go with that. That's good. Amidst the changing times, oh, I know a song about changing times. That's a different voice. Amidst the changing times, we gather together once again. This is Mom's favorite singer. And I pick up a pen as Harriet did in years past to write. This year will be in the traditional style of quick poetry and riddles. And thus we begin. You got it. my mother that way, man.
You only got your daughter.
I know.
I will slug you if you do this, my mother.
Who is that? I don't know. I don't know.
My fellow Americans, I'm so glad I could be here tonight in the great state of Missouri. Tonight with my biggest fans. A lot of people know what kind of support I have right here in this room. Yeah. And support just isn't just for the blacks. No, I mean, the blacks have always supported me, we know this.
And the Greeks.
But what they aren't talking about is the greens. Melanie couldn't make it tonight, sad. On her way to Mar-a-Lago, she said, "Donald, send support." Isn't she just the greatest first lady of all time?
Yeah.
So tonight we're going to make Christmas Eve great again. You know, before I started doing these Christmas Eve speeches, it was unheard of to say Merry Christmas. But now let me tell you, we're all saying it all over the place, Merry Christmas. And it looks like we have record numbers in the room tonight. The fake news will not tell you. Bigger than ever. Now we know the fake news likes to twist my words and make them sound like something horrific. But I don't care what they say. You people, you know what I'm trying to say, and you not fill in the blanks and understand what I'm saying, right?
Woo! Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll get right into it. In 1930, this area was a trolley scene. However, in 2018, a gift for
Molly Jean.
Molly Jean.
I should add one note. All of my immediate family, the gifts got left at home, apparently. We'll get them tomorrow morning.
If they want a substitute, we
But we're gonna wash and dry.
wash and dries. Oh, sorry.
All right. Attention on Trump. If we were in a Tolkien novel, an adventure we would have to near and far and many seas by stars we could nav. But many years have passed, so Bilbo has to send his son. And since Gandalf is too old, he would have to send Gandalf the...
Is it great? I don't
Great,
know. Okay, excellent. Do you think Donald has actually read Lord of the Rings? Is it that?
I don't think he's read his name.
Alright, so.
Okay.
I am making many of these simple, so you won't have to use ye brain. Now a gift for a girl by the name of...
Lucy James.
Lucy, you get a present. Lucy, stand up and take a bow. Lucy, take a bow.
Ruining your virgin social life.
Mission accomplished. She's just a socialite, she's out partying all the time.
Alright. In the White House, we don't have dogs. No Dobermans, Labs, Shepherds, not even any Spaniels. I think you would agree the next gift is... Daniel!
Well, Next year,
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this year has been filled with division and drama, from Barbecue Becky to Ku Klux Karens. But instead, let's spread some joy and starting with our girl.
Very good.
I missed that one. I was thinking you Obama.
Rhymes with Karen.
I was trying with drama.
You're welcome. Doing a great
So when things get much harder, we're often not so keen. But it's very simple this year to give another one to Gene.
I was thinking
That's good. That's all good.
Brenda, there are no gifts that are set at the family, so you can just jump
Now
right in.
this one could go two ways and present a mess at times. For at first they are identical and not defined by rhymes. One is singing to the choir, the other one to behold. So, give one out to,
Back till.
and.
Brian.
So, now this one could go two ways and present a mess at times.
That's a little
Two
too much
gifts.
information.
Brian, you
For at first they are identical and not defined by rhymes.
So,
Brian and
Brian. Brian.
One is singing to the choir,
Prior.
the other one to behold.
That should tickle you for the real thing tomorrow.
Another one is a slight bit off.
Competition in this room.
Another one is a slight bit off, but also much the same. Add a popular beverage to his name, and you can guess the name.
You are
This follows off of the last one. Another one is a slight bit off, but also much the same.
Brian,
Add a popular beverage to both of them, and you can guess his name.
But that's not it.
We were just visiting the studio, and then there was like a shake.
Let's back up to number 7. I don't think anybody's getting what Trump's saying here. So on number 7, this one can go two ways and present a mess of times. For at first they are identical and not defined by rhymes. Now this one, another one is a slight bit off, but also much the same. Add a popular beverage to both of them. Brian with a,
Bryant.
The T.
then you can guess his name. So yes, it's me.
Say your name like 3 times.
Yeah.
See?
There's a South African wine called this green. So these are the South. When he said
Her
the.
sister Brian.
Now, those liberal holiday types, those liberal Hollywood types, we've got to acknowledge them because otherwise they're going to assassinate me. If I were in the movie Big, in front of a big machine called Zoltan, I would cast a Christmas wish to my great uncle and throw back to Penny Williams.
And let's raise a toast to Penny Marshall while you're talking about it. I can say, yeah. I wrote Jeff. Did you? And he wrote me back and said she was a genius.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This year,
my college friend worked on the That's how I got his start.
all right. So,
He created
this year's had many trials and many a subpoena, but tonight we give a gift to our good friend.
Rita.
John Cena.
But I would give it to Donald.
Some of us brought others.
And some of us are losers.
Some of us brought others. Some came with those that bring us. Now let's give another gift to.
I never knew that until he was practicing it. I said, what's that do?
That was good.
I had no idea.
I would have said.
I had no idea. I said, who's that? Yeah, I had no idea.
That's why I was doing it.
Yeah, I called it necessary. I had no idea.
Everybody's pushing too hard.
Alright, people say there's chaos. People say there's chaos, okay. With chaos in the White House, I expect the appointment of Meatloaf, maybe Busey. But let's take a break from that and give a gift to...
That's great. Robin with Gary Busey. That was just you.
What was that? Who was on that?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, I was watching the line for a movie with him, and he was like, with his group, with his date going, hey, how you doing? Hey. I was like, stop hitting her. Stop hitting her. And this is, 30 years ago.
Does liberal types say... Those liberal types say if I were running the country, I would most likely accept any senior or senorita. But here I am in charge, so I give a gift to.
That was easy.
So sure, we have troubles everywhere, but we will no longer be in Nara. Most people don't know this in Syria. There's a place called Nara. So let's celebrate the troops. Let's give a gift to. I apologize. Yeah, people say. Now people say I'm repetitive. I apologize, but you gotta get the point through. This is another one that's very repetitive, but you gotta keep up. Now you didn't know this, but in the Middle East they pray, but the difference is they pray to Mecca. Not in the United States. Not in the United States. We say Merry Christmas to Stewart! The American people have told me we need to stop these anonymous thugs, but also said the next gift is to the None of this year could have been possible without our first responders. They're the ones we value, but they're number one in my book, so now we celebrate. At my dump in Washington, we decked in crimson holly, and now here in St. Louis, we give a gift to.
That's excellent. I got it.
You got that. He actually announced he was in St. Louis when he was in Kansas.
Here in St. Louis. I appreciate it. I don't know how many did, but I appreciate
I
it.
don't really like this one. So most think my hair is fake, like a bunch of sewed up Merkins. I also believe this next gift should go to
Chris Perkins.
Chris Perkins!
write that
Very impressed.
He's focused on
You didn't pull me in. Pull me in.
Yeah, there you go.
I hate that cookie.
one. So, ladies and gentlemen, My policies are fair, never meant to hurt, like a new policy of giving to people name.
Bert. Kurt.
Yes.
Oh, we need a big mouth.
To hurt.
Accident on me.
Yeah, on the earth.
So, ladies and gentlemen, all these Hollywood types hate me. Ellen, Woody, Joaquin Phoenix, all vegans. All vegans. And the next gift, also all
Megan.
ladies and gentlemen, these will conclude my remarks.
I don't know what's wrong with her.
I want you to pass the president we've ever had. Can we go around the tables and repeat that this is the best president we've ever had? Thank God for this president. God gave us this president. This is Jesus sent us this president.
And that was a record speed.
That's what she said. That's what Stormy said.
She did? Oh, that puts things in the picture. Thank you for saying that.
I have no words.
Okay. We're good, yeah. So, Colleen, would you like to? Would you like to make an announcement?
Okay, I have to sit. I love Dr. Seuss.
You're wonderful.
I immediately went out and I get it.
Ryan, I truly, that is just gorgeous. One of the best ever. And Jenny Camps. That's great. Really great. Really
He's trying to figure out how to
Oh, yeah.
They're going to do it by table.
Yes.
He's good.
She's I now have everything for this world.
It's amazing. It's amazing.